There we go. I know. Alright, let's see. Okay, looks like we're on. Alright, are any subscribers? You guys say that you hear me, right? We'll be beginning about 7:10. Now we're going to be going through me. And I got a crown by my name. Because I'm the king. Okay, let's see. Hey, you guys have been using that document to study from, right? It's on eCampus. Whatever the case, we'll go through that document here again, just to make sure. You guys understand? We're just going to go through all of the things sequentially, and I'm going to go ahead and do it across the classes. So we'll all do one. You'll be watching Strelekis' stream. Okay, well, if you want to go and tell her, like, hey, this is for us a stream. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, did I remember to monetize this video? I need to make some cash with this. No, I don't think I monetized it. All right. Today we will be going through documents from eCampus. Check the sections for you. Hey, morning. Ready for the review day? Yes, it is. I mean, we don't have any more review days left. I mean, I do get here at 5:30, so I guess if you want to come in before then. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't really recommend it. You mostly want to be good sleep and snacked and all that before the exam. Oh, I paused it specifically to avoid that. What? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, really? Because I can't get mine. Yeah, media center is cool.
Okay, you would not get your passport at the media center.
No, my school ID.
What do you mean you don't have? Do you not have a school ID? Why?
I was supposed to go in the water, and it didn't. The machine was broken to go take me.
Okay, I want you to go see what's my song. Because we need to get this sorted out now. You have a passport? Okay.
Passport? I
hate you all.
Why are you live streaming on Twitch?
No, YouTube.
YouTube, what? Wait.
Just go on my YouTube. You sub, right? There'll be a little.
I should probably start doing that.
Yeah, you should sub to Kevin Strelekis. Yeah.
I want to change my YouTube channel.
Please don't be Kevin Strelekis. Anthony, hello. We're doing a review day today. We're doing an APCS review. You're finishing up the last Albert stuff, right?
Oh crap. What? I almost finished Albert. I still have a few more though. Good job.
Could you stop calling me Ash?
Oh God, kill me, please. There's so much cooler than I got.
Yes, Strelekis. Anyways, so right now, we're live streaming.
Oh, we are?
Yeah. So we're live, everyone. So, alright guys, we're going to begin momentarily. My class is missing. How to do our testing? Don't worry, I checked.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all. Let's begin. I finished attendance. And this is going to be our class for today. If you want to watch on the live stream, you can. If you want to watch up here in the projector, you can. In fact, I might discourage everyone from playing that live. Shh, guys, I might discourage y'all from playing the live stream while in class because school's bandwidth is only going to handle so much.
It's all if we take down the system, I can't do that at the same time. They're going to do
What? That's like the what? That doesn't even make sense.
They convert it.
No, do it through.
What are you gonna? Oh my god. Okay, guys, let's do this. Shh. Let's stop talking and start reviewing. All right, so you're all taking the exam tomorrow. All right. So, firstly, does everyone know where they're going for the exam tomorrow? Okay. You know that really far away gym that's like over there? Yes, where they do the pep rallies. That is the competition gym, and that is where you are testing at 7 tomorrow morning.
What?
Yes, like the one I just pointed to and said was over there. So not this close one, but the one for pep rallies, way over there. So you're going there, and you're going to get there like as soon as you get to school. Now I'll be here around 5:30 a.m. So if you want to come by and pick up some of the pretzels I got, I have 3 bags of pretzels in the back. So if you want some pretzels, come on by. I got pretzels. I might have some water. Because guys, you're going to have an hour and a half of multiple choice, a short break, and then an hour and a half of FRQ. That's 3 hours. I don't know. So you'll be missing like all day basically. But listen, guys, it's like 3 hours, so you might bring some snacks if you don't show up early to grab some, okay? Got it? Now, that would mean otherwise, you don't come to class. You go directly to the competition gym. I'm not guiding you over there because there's too much of a worry of you missing the exam. Get there basically the moment you arrive to campus, go to the competition gym. Starts around 7, so don't be late. Be early if possible. Any questions about tomorrow? Please do have a valid ID, like your student ID. If you do not have one, I do want you to go talk to Lysol like immediately, alright? If you just don't have a student ID. Miss Lysol, she's like over the AP stuff.
Oh, you just get off one? Yeah.
I mean, talk to her, try and figure out what she would do.
You know what again?
Media Center, but I believe it's closed. Alright, so are there any other questions concerning testing? Okay, then, y'all, we're going to start this review. My goal is over the next 2 periods to do all of this document together. So let's talk about it. Some of the things that I've seen from this year that I really think that you should go back to. Alright, starting off, I have these things. I talk about percent even for. Now, what do you think that means? What do you think I mean by that? I'm going to ignore that. What do you guys think I mean by this? What do you think these 3 things have to do with each other? So, yeah, very good. Looping through something to see what's even and what isn't. So, how do you guys want to do this? Do you want to tell me about how we would go about this, or what? Someone want to tell me how I do this? Good. Now, I'm going to start off just int array numbers. We'll call it numbers because they're numbers. Actually, I'll call it whole numbers because it's whole numbers. Equals new int, give it like 10 things. And actually, instead of that, remember that's how I would set it up if I just want to set it up. But I also want to go ahead and give it an initializer list to just start it off with values. So while you know how I would set up a new integer array, This is how I do it if I want to just give it a list of values. And hopefully you remember what is called an initializer list. Alright, so how do I do that even thing? Okay, what do I do with that? Is less than whole numbers, is that it? The length. Parentheses or not? No. Okay. And how do I know if it's even or not? If I modulus 2 equals 0? So wait, what is it? Good. That index of I is equal to that. Then we do that. So that means I should probably have a count evens up here. So when you see a program like this, what kinds of things might we have actually, what kinds of test questions would I or another computer science teacher might ask you concerning this sort of thing? What would I would show you this code, right? And then what would I ask you about it? So wait. What would happen if it's not even, as in if I'm checking for a not even, or if none of them are even numbers? Okay, okay. Justin? Okay, that's good, yeah. So if they were to give us an input, we would determine what the output would be. Lena? Tough acts to follow, yeah. Now, what kinds of change? So some of the other things you might see is what if, I'll go and say this, what if I did that? Would the output, what if I added that -1 in there? Would the output would the final result of count evens be different if I added the -1 in there? Not for this one. Now why not? Because the last one's not even. Okay, good. Alright, so you're just making sure you still have that. How exactly to check it, and all that stuff. Okay, that's good. Happy with that so far. You guys are that's probably a little too easy for you. So let's talk about this for 2D arrays. Now, a two-dimensional array list. I want you to start conceiving, just in case you haven't gotten this one yet, I want you to start conceiving this just a little different. I'm going to go ahead and do this a moment. And I think at the end of it, it will start to make sense why I'm doing it in this way. And I'm just going to change some of these numbers just so it's not the same exact array. So a two-dimensional array list, we say it's divided into rows and columns. Each of those rows is technically a what? An array. So if I were to, for instance, do this, now firstly, tell me if I make any mistakes as I write this. Is there anything wrong with this line so far? Yes? No? So if I were to put a semicolon here, would that be okay? Why not? Okay. What if I did this? Would that be okay? Would this one have an error? And would this one have an error? Hands up if you think A would get an error. Hands up if you think the other one would get an error. Okay, you're correct that the other one would be the only one to get an error. But why does this line get an error? Is there anything weird about this line? Because remember, you technically don't have to initialize it if you're not using it. But the issue is in the name. What's in a name? Not a number at the beginning. Makes sense? Not a number and not a symbol at the beginning. Now, if I did D2 array, that's okay. Now, symbols are kind of like numbers, but they can't be anywhere in it. So don't have the symbols at all in there. But yeah, so I can have a 2D array, and that would work. But I can't put numbers at the beginning. So that's just a little something that you might also be asked about. Just remember, valid naming requires no number at the beginning. I guess just other things would be, can the variable name be capitalized? Yeah, it can. We'd prefer if you didn't capitalize it, that you capitalize classes and don't capitalize methods or variables, but you will see some variables that are capitalized. Could you name a standard one from our reference sheet that, let's see, where is it? There it is. So name one that does have capital letters in it, or begins with a capital letter from our reference sheet. Integer.min value and max value. They are both constant values, right? The 2 to the 31st doesn't, minus 1 doesn't really change, does it? No. Of course not. So that means that a lot. So the amount doesn't really change. So it's a constant, and usually constants are capitalized. So yeah, that's all fine, but just not that. All right. So I know. But anyway, so let's go and do this now. Doesn't matter. Why? Just, that's weird. I wouldn't worry about them too much. All right, so considering that a 2D array is just an array of arrays, why do we have a problem doing this one? Why is there an error with this line? You guys have an idea of what would be an error with this line. Okay, so if I change it to square brackets, would we be okay? Oh, like to the right of it to initialize it? That we'd have square brackets to the right of it to initialize it? But we don't have that up here. So what's the what change do you think I should make to fix this line? Lena? Okay. So maybe put brackets here, here, and here. Do I still keep the commas? Okay, I'll keep the commas. Do I do anything else to fix this up? I don't have any. Put the thing in front. All right. Is this the thing? Be specific. What do you guys think I should do to this to make it correct? Some of you going to open up Dr. Java and test it out? What do you guys think I should do to this one to make it correct? Come on, guys. We got to move faster than this. Give me some ideas. Sweet. Okay, we'll try that, and then compile it. Still says illegal startup expression. What else? What else? What's the other thing? What's up? Int brackets, okay. On the other side. Oh, but I already have it up here. Do these need to be on one line? Okay, we'll try that. There we go, all on one line. Will it work? Okay. It says it cannot find symbol. That seems like a change. It can't find the variable whole numbers. Oh, because I should capitalize that. Okay, there we go. Now it says it requires an integer, but found an integer array. So it seems that our error keeps changing. So what changes do you think I should make to this to fix it up? So? Okay, let's see if that works. So I'm going to change whole numbers into its list, its initializer list here. And we'll see, okay, so that worked. Now I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to take away the brackets from here. And with that, I have a 2D array, where each row has become an array. Now tell me, how many rows are in this 2D? 3, good. How many columns? 7. Yeah. Very good. So my point in this, what do you guys think is my point for having us kind of go through all that creation of a 2D array? What's my reasoning there? Am I just insane? What am I doing? We're not seeing any votes for insane. Though to be fair, sanity is probably not my strong suit. Alright, so the reasoning behind this, because I should explain, is I really do want you to conceive how this is composed before we go through it. That's actually like the major part of computer science, is understanding how things are composed so that way you are able to use them. That's the whole reason for learning anything conceptual, is so that way you are able to actually use it. This is especially true in less abstracted languages like C++, or even further unabstracted things like working in assembly code, which is a fun exercise that I fully endorse doing one day, if you don't have to do it in college. Alright, so I've started off this, this loop to go through my 2D array. What do I need to add to this loop to actually traverse my 2D array called a 2D array? Another for loop, good. Now, why do I need a second for loop? Why is that? Because what? Yeah. Good. Okay, so right now, I'm just simply going from 0, 1, 2 up here. So that means down here, I need to go 0 through 6. So that's as long as columns is less than 6, or to do it more correctly, what should I do? What should I type here? A2D array. What is it? Index of rows. I like that. So guys, why someone else tell me, why did we do that? Why did we do that then? What was the purpose? What do we need to do with that? Good. Mm-hmm. Very good. No, that's fine. That's fine. Don't give up partway through. That's correct. Yeah, that part I have selected. What does that return? What kind of data is the part that I selected? What is that? It points to one of these things. What are they called? An array. An integer array, right? Like, don't be afraid. Speak. You guys know this, right? Okay. So that means I'm getting one of those integer arrays, and then I'm getting its length. And that's the reason why I'm accessing an element and getting its length. You need this because you're definitely going to be asked to go through a 2D array at some point. Like that is definitely going to show up, both in exams and in life. Like it's basically guaranteed. I can guarantee you 3 things in life: death, taxes, and traversing a 2D array. 3 things I can promise you. All right, so let's actually do something here. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know. I'm gonna get the average of this thing. All right, now if I want to get the average of the numbers in here, and by that I should probably say the arithmetic mean. If I want to get the arithmetic mean, how would I do that on this 2D array? What should I put in here? What should I put up here? And what should I put down here to get it? So I'm going to label this as A, B, and C. And those actually, we'll call it C. Nothing weird about C sections. So I'm labeling each section. What should I put in each section? What do you guys think? Give me some ideas. Lena. The index of, okay, so how do I write that index? How do I write that stuff? at rows at calls. Okay, very good. And since it's an integer array, I'm just going to go ahead and take the actual value itself, right? Now, if I were maybe had public class number holder, we get a little different of a thing, don't we? If I were to have private int x public number holder. If I were to have this here, and this was an array of number holders, then I would have to do that dot get x, right? You just gotta keep that in mind because you're probably gonna be asked plenty of times about, you know, like we had before, right? Get the medals of the athletes or get the number of roses on each rose bush, right? You gotta actually access the stuff inside there. But for this one, we aren't. So let's see what error we did get. Can I find the symbol sum? How am I going to solve that? Good. Just declare it. Equals 0. Declare and initialize sum to 0. So we're good so far. Are we finished? No? Okay, so what do I do? Don't you have what? Okay, yeah, so take me through that. How do I add this count variable? Int count equals 0, alright. Count plus plus, alright. Anything else? Sum divided by count, that's it? That's it? I like where you're going, but keep going. Someone tell me, what do I got here? Alright, so will this code compile? Ken's line was correct. I'll say that much. This is fine. But will this code compile? And what kind of error am I going to get? Think carefully. What's happening in each section? And are there any lines that are bad? Yeah, I can get rid of that one, because otherwise, if I kept that, it's just going to tell me that's not a statement. Because what does this do? Nothing. This is like writing the number 5 there. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. There's no action being taken. Programming is a sport. It's a sport of action and such. So it's saying that's not a statement. So it says not a statement. I can spell. Yeah, and otherwise it's fine. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and print it out. And it's early. Alright, so I'm going to print it out. What number should I get to get the arithmetic mean? Like the mathematical, the actual average of these numbers. What kind of number are you looking at? Was it? It's not precise. Yeah, so how do I make this more precise? What do I change about this program to actually make it precise and meet the needs of my clientele? Say it. Okay, literally everything? Tell you what, I'll go through it one by one. You tell me if I make it a double. Arithmetic mean. Okay. Sum. Okay. We'll make that a double. Count. That can stay the same? Okay. That's cool. Rows. That's a variable. No? Okay. Columns, or calls. Okay. Am I ready? If I compile this, will it work? What? No. But I could. I mean, especially if I'm going to make the sum be a double, I'm probably expecting some decimal values in here. Because otherwise, I would just leave sum as an integer. Now, if I were to leave sum as an integer, I still get 11.0, even though I should have an actual decimal value. Can anyone explain why, if both of these are integers, and this one's a double, it still comes out to 11.0 instead of like 11.62 or something? Can anyone explain for me why this is 11.0 instead of having an actual decimal value? You have a guess? Go ahead. You won't be heard on the live stream. Only I will. Who's got it for me? Come on. Okay. What's an integer divided by an integer? Okay. What's an integer divided by a double? Double. Okay. What's a double divided by an integer? Okay. Well, let's see. What if sum were a double? Sum's now a double, right? And counts an integer, right? So that's double divided by integer, correct? No problem. And it even comes out with a better answer. So what made the difference to actually make this be a true double answer? What made it work? What made it work, guys? Yeah, I would have went ahead and truncated or rounded down the value, as we saw before. Because an integer divided by an integer is still an integer. Then it gets converted into a double, and the integer value 11 is equal to the double value 11.0. All right, so then that means that's some changes I should make. Ooh, my voice is echoing. But anyways, so that means what kind of change could I make without actually changing these up here? What can I do on just this line alone to make sure that one of these is a double? Or Jason, I'm here. Good. I'd cast the whole thing as double or just one part of it? Ooh, good question. Tell me what I should write. Just tell me what I should write. I'm right here at the beginning of sum. What should I do? Just. Okay. Okay, and that's good. Around what? Around sum divided by count? Joseph, will that work? Because you were leaving the parentheses out. And should we leave the parentheses out? Yeah, we should. Why? Why does this not work? Alina, your hand's moving. What is it? Yes, exactly right. Because sum divided by count happens first. PEMDAS. Parentheses first. So this happens, this integer division happens, and then, exactly, and then it's translated into a double. So it's like 11.6 whatever, is still an integer value, so it's 11, then becomes a double of 11.0. Without the parentheses, however, without the parentheses around the whole thing, it works out nicer because now sum is counted as a double and it will actually work as expected. So that's a lot involved to just simply, what are you guys writing there? That's a lot. Anyway, so that's a lot. I'll get you for this. I'll get you for this.
No, the kids' channel is just.
What am I on YouTube Kids?
He's watching.
Okay, whatever. By the way, for those of you watching the live stream, is the text large enough to see? Okay, good. I'm glad. Because all my old videos were like, code for ants or something. Alright, so that's quite a lot involved just to go through this. Why did we go through it all? Why did I have us go through all of this? Just to get a working arithmetic mean program down. Because that's what they want. They, the man, the government, the college board, the so-called college. No. Why did we do this? What's useful for general programming understanding from doing this kind of procedure? What's it? That's true. My 3 promises. One of them is traversing a 2D array. Now, the other reason, constantly as we developed this, we kept saying, oh wait, but what if? And we kept saying, wait, I need to test it. Those 2 things are really important to development. Is to stop and go, oh wait, what if blank? What if blank? What if blank? In fact, we kind of missed something before, because if this was all number, all these objects were number holders instead of numbers, we would need to do if a 2D array at rows at calls equals, what would I check? What would I check if it's not equal to? If it was an array of number holder objects, what would I need to check about that number holder object before trying to access its values? To what? X? What's X? Think about it again, y'all. What would it be? What value do all objects start at when they aren't initialized? Null. Then I would have to have done that. So yeah, that's something we would have changed about it. But since we are just dealing with integers, we don't have to check that. Because integers are never null. They are 0. Okay, cool. So that was a fun exercise that lasted quite a while. But something that I think did have some use. So let's talk about parents and children. Alright, my number holder class is going to be useful here. Because we're going to have public class toNumber holder. And he is the, or she, is the child of number holder. Alright, what private instance variables do you guys think toNumber holder is going to have? An X? That's in the super, you're right. So there is already, technically, this is inherited. Well, not technically, it is inherited. So technically, that is present in there already. So what else do you guys think I'm going to need to actually write for the toNumber holder? A what? A number, okay, another number, basically, right? That's the main point, is that I need another number for it. Now, what error am I going to get if I try to compile? I'm extending another class, so what error do I get if I try to compile? What is it? I'm not actually extending? I do say extends, so what's the issue with my class right now that is not actually extending it? Because you're sort of right, but what do you mean by that? Okay. What would I need to do with X? What do I need to do with that? Here, I'll show you. So, the constructor is the main issue. I don't have a constructor yet. Now, typically, that would be fine. Like, if this one didn't have a constructor, it compiles fine. That's not necessary for a class. However, when we extend another one, we do need to make a new constructor for it. So, public toNumber holder. What parameters do I give it? Int x, int y. Good. Why do I need both of those in there? Because I have 2 variables to set. Alright, now I know this dot y can equal y, right? That takes care of one of my values. Now, how do I take care of x? What do I do? Super. You guys got that? And why am I doing super? Because it's accessing the what class, guys? Everyone! Everybody! I say we're accessing, you say? Super! Yeah, super class. The super class. Now the super class caller calls the constructor that's here. And it calls it with the same parameter, with the same kind of parameter that the constructor would take. So even though the name is super here, it's otherwise matching the number holder constructor. You guys got it? Okay, cool. So when you do that, that's how we started this off. Now, I want to describe overriding. But first, we have to discuss parallel universes. No, I'm kidding. We got to talk about method overriding. So here's going to be a parent method super add. So what this one does is it super adds whatever value you give it, and it does it by adding it 5 times. So that's a pretty super way to add. And let me just make it so it doesn't actually change that value. So you guys see how this super add method works? It makes a new variable so it doesn't erase the old x value. You don't want to change, usually you don't really want to change your old values unless you're specifically requested to do so. So it makes a new value based on the old one, then it adds this new x to it 5 times, and then returns that new value. So that's our super add. So for instance, if this x were 5, that's the number I typed there, and this x were 4, what would be my returned value? What would be my return value? Write it down. Get some math. Let's go. They're written on the board, y'all. Do some math. Think it out or write it out. That's how you do your exam. You write things out. Is it 16? Maybe it's 25 or something? Well, let's try it out. Where's my calculator? Let's take this. 4 is being added to 5 times. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is being added to 5. What does that make? Okay, guys, what's 4 times 5? What's 20 plus 5? Okay, good. I think we got it now. Gosh. I thought you guys passed Algebra 1. You're supposed to. So let's do some method overriding now. The plus x 5 times thing, that was cool, but for the super add for 2 number holder, it's got to be a little more extreme. Like it's got to be lit times 2, you know? Lit 2.0. All right, that's what I say it's got to be. All right. So let's return. Let's get some lit 2.0. All right. So here's what I got for this one. The I is that, and I is that, I plus plus. And what I need to do is do x2 plus equals x3 plus x. So one thing to notice immediately is even though this is the same name as the method in the parent class, it's radically different, right? Like that's a very different method, correct? Because now I'm working with both private instance variables and this other new parameter that I'm receiving. So with all that, I come out with a very different answer. Now I'm not going to ask you guys what answer that is, but I will ask you this. Super add is here, and super add is here. Now, if these are in the same file, what would be the problem with that? What would be the problem if I put these in the same file? Stood? Oh, I thought you saw your hand up. Yeah, we have about 8 minutes left. So the difference is it's already defined, right? Now, if I were to add a second integer here, it would be better because then it would know which one to pick, right? Because it just does method overloading, where it picks the one that. Oh wait, I don't want to get rid of that. where it'd do method overloading, where it pick the one that matches the arguments actually given. Now, the reason why this one works is because it's method overriding, because the child can override the parent's method. Now, this is really important, because one, it means that I can make a new number holder, declare it as a declare it as a number holder, initialize it as a 2-number holder, and that's all okay. And then I can even call, see, what was it? Oh, yeah. I can even call super add with it. So long as I give it a number. Now, so guys, here comes the question. This is super add. This is super add. X has access to both of them. So which one is it calling? This is actually critically important for understanding inheritance. Which one is it going to call? Two methods with the same name. Which one does it call? The one from the parent says 1. Okay, let's test it out. So when I run it, I get a number 23. Now we said earlier that if I were to super add, with that being 5, oh wait, let me switch these around so that I can fully prove it. So we said that if I gave it a 5, and this number was 5, and I gave it, man, I'm getting everything wrong, and I gave it a 4, so if x was 5, and I gave it a 4, it should return a 25, right? Correct? But we got a 22, meaning it must be calling this one. Now, to make it easier to see which one I'm calling, I'm going to just say return -1 here, so that, if it returns a -1, we know it's calling the child, which it is. So, why does it call the child instead of the parent? Because of what? Because of the right side here, correct? Okay. Now, so firstly, maybe write that down or just hold on to it in your memory banks. Declared as a parent, initialized as child, calls the child method first. Now here's something surprising. I'm going to take out the parent method, right? And this now doesn't compile because it can't find super add because it's not a part of number holder. So that's a little weird, isn't it? Because it uses the child's method, but it checks the parent class first. If it's not present in the parent class, it will throw an error because it checks there first. You must first make sure that it is present in the parent class, even though it eventually calls the child. Now, with just 4 minutes left, I'm going to go ahead and throw something else in here. If I did this plus super x, what does this super x do? What does that part do? Because before, super called the constructor. What does super here call? It calls what from the parent class? What is it going to call from the parent class? And what value? What method? Whoops, that's right. No, whoops, I completely forgot to add that in there. Super add. That will go ahead and call the parent class's super add method. All right, so we just have 3 minutes left. We've only gotten through a few of these things, but I feel like we've gotten through most of them. I'll definitely make sure for the other class we get through these, at least one of these, and that might be, ooh, in this one. Yeah, I definitely want to do that one. Okay, So for you guys, do you guys have any questions about what we've gone through? What do you need for tomorrow? Say something. What was it? Abstracts. Okay, good. I'll make sure to get that next period. We only have like 3 minutes left, so, check that. And guys, this will be online also, so like you can definitely just check it out online. Also, required watching for my class, kind of like required reading, but it's watching, is my thing on the APCS tracing. I want you to watch how I trace a few of these videos. How I trace a few of these problems here, okay? At least grab that one, maybe just like one other. Just because it's a really good idea for handling how you should go through a problem. So, are there any questions? So, okay, actually, I like that idea. So Ed pointed out that when we're calling this one, it's almost like we're going to the parent first to check if it's okay, to check if super add is actually there, and then we actually ask the child class to perform super add. I like that idea. So yeah, if it's now this is only if it's declared as a parent. If it were declared and initialized as the same thing, then it would just immediately go to the child. It doesn't even bother with the parent. Okay, guys? You got that? Okay. Then the bell will ring. I'm gonna update attendance for some of those who are out. For those of you watching the stream, I might pause it or I might not because I'm terrified of it just crashing. Actually, let me check that's still going. Okay, it kind of is. 23 minutes. That doesn't seem correct at all. But anyways, so see you guys. You have a good one. Bye now. All right, morning, Jim. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. I love teaching you. I'll see you soon. So at this point, we're pausing in between classes, and we'll be back to our stream soon. I might go ahead and stop streaming for just a moment. I'm terrified of what will happen. So instead, hey, you made it, guys. Let's get some hype in the Castrify chat. Heck yeah, man. Anyway, see, you gotta go play League, you jerk. Don't follow suspicious links, guys. Don't follow suspicious links. Just saying that. Anyway, so be going again soon. Get hyped. Hello, Joe. Very good. You're watching the stream watching. It's still going. It'll be starting to get very close.
Hey, peace class.
Let's check the chat. Check the chat.
Hey, oh, it's on Twitch. It's on Twitch.
Oh,
Gaming. Let's go Twitch.
Instead of YouTube gaming, we got YouTube programming.
Yo, okay. Spicy.
I got 40 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
Wait, what are you doing Friday?
When you
Oh,
trying to figure out if the
140. How about we never have a grade? Let's see if I have the
Yo, I went on this morning and reading my basic.
That's it. That's the one that's Travis.
All right, let's check the. Yeah, let's get swifty.
Let's get
Swifty. You guys ready?
Let's get swifty.
So, like, my favorite programming language is C++, but today we're programming in Lit++. Let's do this.
Wait, is the mic on? Is the mic on?
Mic is on.
Hey, Lit++.
I think.
Let's go.
Yes, it is. Okay, cool.
Can you do a face cam?
I can, but instead we're gonna do this.
No, base camp, base camp.
Go get ready, get your notes out, get your questions in your brains.
No, man, we don't need no notes. We got live streaming YouTube.
So you know your results to practice exam?
Rose, you ready for the live stream?
Yeah!
Hey! I saw it.
Alright guys, results to the exam is in the email. Let's see. Charles is not in class section. You're not here. Alright, so you guys have seen this document. We're going to go ahead and get started. You've seen this document, right? What?
Like your email.
Email. I'm not sure how else to describe this. Your electronic mail, which it's like a telegraph, but like.
Are you insinuating that the sent me email comes?
Yes.
It's not even insinuating.
I hope so.
I
But anyways, let's go and go through this. So, this is the document we went through in first period. As you can see, we did a lot.
Me.
So, one of their questions before they left was to go through the abstract class. Now, are some of you also feeling kind of like you need abstract classes? Okay, we'll go ahead and do this then. Last period, we had just done an example of method overriding and reminded ourselves that when you declare as parent, initialize as child, and then call one of the methods that's in both classes, it will access the one in the child class. But if that method is not present in the parent class, it will throw an error. Because it will look in the parent first and then use the one in the child. One student likened it to this. If you go to someone's house to ask a question, you have to first ask their parent if it's okay, and then you can check with the child.
Late findings.
Does anybody ever do that?
I mean, you guys are friends. You don't just like walk into your friends.
Yeah, you do.
I do. Yeah,
Yeah, you do. You literally just go, "Hey, mom."
It's just like, it's how long has it been since you
The difference is I was a polite young man.
Also, you did something.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, I checked.
No, that's
And I checked my regular email, and it wasn't there either.
Are you insinuating?
Here, go ahead and open up my email and check through my sent, see if because I thought I did. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. We have this class called number holder and a class called toNumberHolder that extended it. Now, number holder had one variable, a constructor, an accessor, and this method. Is it locked? Okay. toNumberHolder, I'll send it after class then, I guess. toNumberHolder has a second number, because it technically already has the first, a constructor, and this overridden method. Now, we're going to go ahead and change this number holder to an abstract class. Now, before I go on any further, do you guys have any questions about the arrangement of number holder and toNumberHolder? Okay, so you guys got what's going on then, right? All right. Now, change it to abstract, as you'll notice, doesn't really do anything. Now, knowing it's abstract, I want you to tell me which of these. I'm going to ask you a fun kind of question.
Which one's not allowed?
Which one's not allowed if number holder is abstract?
The second one.
So does everyone say B?
Yeah.
Can everyone understand why it's B?
Okay.
So, number holder is abstract. Which of these break? A, B, or C? B. And you can see that being the part. Yes?
So, if A is correct and we want to, and say the other two lines of code aren't in there, if we want to call X, we're going to do, if we say X dot a method, would it only access methods in toNumberHolder or a number holder?
So, if the method wasn't present in the child, then it would go ahead and call.
Because it's extending it, so I'm going to inherit it anyway. So if it's not in child, it's not a problem.
Exactly. So in that case, it would go ahead and just call the parent class's method.
Is it a type number holder or?
It's
Yes.
a type number. Whatever the constructor is.
As in, for its initial check is there, but it will use these methods.
Yeah, because that's what it said about the late binding. So during compile time, it uses the parent class. But during runtime, it uses.
Yes, I kind of misunderstood the question last time. So guys, from the Barron's book, it asked you about, it mentioned late binding. And I referenced, what did I reference? Something about dynamic programming.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really the correct idea. I misunderstood. Late binding is the fact that this is declared as a parent. That's declared as a parent and initialized as a child, and therefore it's going to check if that method's present in the parent class before using the child method, because it's later binding that there. So for abstracts, you cannot make an object of them. Now you guys remember that this is making an object, right? This equals new part, correct? The initializing part is making the object. And you can't do that with either an interface or an abstract class. Now, can we give me a conceptual reason? First, do you have a question? Okay, can we give me a conceptual reason for why we do not allow initialization of abstract classes or of interfaces? Okay, so yeah, conceptually, abstract means, well, by its definition, is not concrete. It doesn't, it's like the guy who, yeah, it is. It can also be like the guy who loves dogs but yells at them when they're trying to go into his unfinished sidewalk. He loves them in the abstract, but he hates it when they get in the concrete.
Stop!
So,
Wait, did you plan that just for this? Did
you come up with that?
I was up all night writing this.
No, seriously. Did you think of that right now?
No.
Is that why you wanted to do abstract first?
No. So,
get this over Yes.
Typically, an abstract class has abstract methods, right?
Right.
So let's say I overloaded super add to give it tool ints. All right.
Wow.
Now, if I said though that it was, but it's abstract, this should probably also drive home why you cannot initialize these. Because interfaces, all of the methods are abstract, right?
Right.
And in an abstract class, some of them are abstract. Exactly. Because the chance is, it prevents you from using it, because there's a chance you might try to use this abstract method here. So it says, no, absolutely not. You cannot use it, because I have no idea how it works. So that's why it actually stops you from doing it. Because there's this chance, and in the case of interfaces, pretty much guaranteed, that there's going to be some method that is not defined. And if you don't have it defined, you don't know how it works. The compiler is absolutely bewildered as to how it works. Yes?
So two questions. So in an interface, are all the methods bubble?
Yeah, typically.
And
Yes, that's required. That's required, yeah.
And then, so you can't make an instance variable from a abstract or an interface.
Yes.
Now,
Now,
all of the methods have to be defined in whatever class, in the subclass.
exactly. That was the next thing I was going to go into. All the undefined methods have to be defined. So tell me, with this program as it is, with the state of number holder, to number holder, and today's review, does it compile? And which class will have the error message?
What?
Will this, in its current form, compile? And which class will throw the error? Well, not throw, but have an error.
Is this the number?
This is number holder right now.
It's the abstract.
It's the abstract class,
Okay.
containing one abstract method, superadd, and 3 non-abstract methods.
Right.
In its current form, it will not compile, but which file will have the error? Which one? Okay. All right, come on, guys. Take a guess. Take a guess. Which one? 2 number holder. You are correct. So, why does 2 number holder not work? Because notice it's specifically highlighting this top line here, and you'll see that when you're implementing or extending. In what case? What is happening? Abstract. What about it? It has an abstract method in the parent, right? So what does it need to have in the child? A what? The defined method. Very good. Yes, claps for you, Travis. You get your, no,
You should really know that.
but it's not abstract. I'll write the word cookie.
For you.
I don't know how to do that. Dude, I just figured out how to live stream yesterday.
No, come on, you gotta add another cookie.
No, let's do this.
Stop.
I know Java better. So, super adding. Is it still okay? Is it okay now? Perfect.
Sorry.
What's it got to return?
An integer.
An integer.
Wow, that's
You know what?
Whoa.
You try this, John.
I'm typing.
Yeah. So now it's fine because I returned some integer, because I've taken out the abstract, and because I'm actually implementing the abstract method. So as always, whenever I extend or implement, I must implement any abstract methods.
The book explains like abstract classes versus interfaces as like one you should be creating copies and one that's applicable in like different circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But can't you do the
So the question is, what's the difference between interfaces and abstract classes in practice? Okay, so you guys remember when I taught you about interfaces and I said you won't really use this in practical programming for several years? I meant it. Interfaces are very useful for enforcing a set of blueprints across several objects on a major project of a few thousand lines of code over with several programmers to enforce that they all have the same methods without defining how those specific methods work. That every creature on this little planet thing that you build has a move, has a speak, has an something. Other? With this extending, I am setting certain rules still with the abstract methods. Any abstract method must be implemented, must exist. But I might be setting fewer of them and doing more of actually giving it a usable method. So the difference, as the book kind of points out, is one of them, you're really trying to make an object which is an abstract class, which is a number holder, right? Because we say in the today's review file that X and Z are both two number holders and number holders, right? We would say is A. That is the relationship of these two, correct? Okay, cool. And so it is one of these. Now, if it were an interface, we say it implements rather than extends, because the idea of an implements is that it defines how it will work. It's more about how it actually interfaces with the world around it, and less about what it actually is. It's more of a design thing, very design conceptual thing. Okay, so this thing keeps restarting the stream, but it keeps going. Okay, that's interesting to know. All right, so I think we got... Did I answer all your questions about abstract classes?
Yeah.
Anyone got any other questions about them? Last day. Okay. Find maximum. So let's talk about that. I believe we did this in the other thing. Where is it? Does anyone remember what I called it last time? Example? No. Example school. Okay, in the last CSA review, I showed this. On the last episode! So, let's look at this. This is a search function, which finds both the maximum and the minimum. Now, notice, I want you to really highlight this first two lines up here, int max and int min. Why did I do what I did there? And furthermore, what did I do?
Absolutely.
Hands up. Travis first. You had your hand up first. Trigger. Tell me. Interrogation. Tell me.
So the first one gets the absolute minimum value, which is -2 to the power 31 plus 1.
Good.
And then the second one
Ish.
finds the absolute maximum value of this to the power of the
Yes. Good. So why did I do that? Why did I set maximum to the absolute minimum value? Why would I do that? Reese. I've been saying your name a lot. So that any number would be bigger than it. So does that make sense to everyone? Nod your head if that's yes. Shake your head if it's no. So the reasoning behind, the reasoning behind doing this is when I enter into this loop, which is checking through this array of 50 random numbers. Okay? When I'm going through that, I want to check and see if this number is greater than my maximum. Now, if I started maximum at 0, well, what if all these numbers were negative? If all these numbers are negative, then I'm going to say the maximum was 0, when in reality, the actual maximum was like -4 or something. So I need to start maximum at a different value that is guaranteed to be less than at least one of these. Or, if all of these values are min value, then I end up returning min value, and I'm A-OK. So then that's the other way of doing it. One of my values is going to be the minimum value, correct?
Right.
So instead of using min value, Kyle points out, I could just use the value, the very first value in the array. The only concern there is, what if my array was of length 0? Would that, what kind of exception would I get there? Was it? Not no pointer. It's been initialized. Array indexed out of bounds exception. Yes. So that's the only issue. Typically you won't see that, but yeah, he's totally right. If I set this to the first number in the array, and go ahead and come closer if you need to hear. If I set it to the first number in the array, it's going to check that first number against each of them. And that allows us to make sure, guarantee that we're checking with all the values inside that array. Kyle? Oh wait, was I asking Kyle still something? Did I have something for you? No? Okay, sure.
So the return and then save, what does that do?
That just exits.
Oh.
Yeah, since this is a void method,
Oh, okay.
I'm not returning any values, I'm just exiting. I didn't really have an idea of what we should do if we actually found our query. So, who cares?
Legal argument exceptions are always the
Pretty much, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so guys, the question of illegal argument exceptions. I don't remember where I had that. Oh well, it's on. I told the other class this. That CSA tracing is required watching for my class. At least a few of them. At least like number 7, number 1, one of the recursions ones. Fibonacci is a fun one because you get to see how terrible recursion is.
It's so inefficient.
Yeah, recursion's awful.
Instead of giving him a cookie, add him as a moderator.
All right, I did it.
You block him?
Was that what I should have done? Okay. Almost. Off by 1. So, questions about find min, find max.
No.
Please, shh. Ask a question about find min, find max. It's really crucial that you can get this. This if statement will find maximum. This one finds minimum. That one, and I'm going to take out the return value there. I don't know what I want there. But anyways, that one finds my query. There's a linear search. There's a minimum search. There's a maximum search. All of it happens right there. It's that easy to code them. Okay? Yes? Did I not hand those back yet? I will email you them. I might not have found your multiple choice. Search through the whole document then. Okay, good. Oh, probably about. Do you want me to like say the score? Okay. Middle pretty much all across the board, except for the last one, which is like way over here. So yeah, you're in good shape. All right, next. Boolean logic and truth table. We don't touch on that much, but I'll at least discuss Boolean. I'm sorry. Am I okay? I'm never okay. So, let's say we have Boolean x equals true, Boolean y equals false. Now, I want to ask you, what is this equal to? Nope. What is that equal to? Equals false? Equals true? True or false? Okay. So let's go ahead and work that out. Let's take an idea of how we would do that. I gotta spell. So let's take an idea of how we would actually go about doing this. Gosh, Johnny, come on. Doesn't need to be. Right? Because all it is just a bunch of numbers. Or Booleans. So let's talk about this. We're talking first about the lack of parentheses here. And that's actually pretty important that you can understand where the invisible parentheses actually are. So, let's go ahead and go through this. Where do you guys think I should put the parentheses for this problem? The first x or y? This part?
Yeah.
No? Yes? Like this? That?
Like between the Y and the Y.
Like that?
So it'll. Yeah.
So we combine these based on ors, but we're combining these based on and? The other way around? Well, I mean, right now it's both ways. That's gonna. Well, let's go. So guys, we have or as priority now, right? Why don't we just continue that trend? So let's go ahead and try that. Now, x or y, what does that equal? And?
So for or if one of them is true, then the both is true.
Yes.
Both of them are true. Both of them are false, or is it false?
False. Good. So, what's the next one I need to evaluate? The parentheses. PEMDAS always applies. You said that in last period too. Y and x. What is that? Okay. So far we're with true and y or false. So y is false. So we're good so far. So what's false or false?
So true and false. Or sorry, false.
So that means if I were to put this into an if statement, if we did it correctly, it should not print out the words, what should I print out?
Moderator.
What? Moderator.
Free Jarvis.
Wait, which error is that?
Hashtag free Jarvis. Spread the word. Bring Jarvis back.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to go ahead and, by the way, guys, if you have any questions about 2D arrays, check the stream. They are.
How would you think, like, the columns in
The columns and the rows? Okay, I'll do that next. So, are we moderator? No, we're not. You're correct. We're not moderator. Because, yeah, that is how it ends up going out. or does take priority.
So it's true.
No, it's false. Wait, oh, it is true. Shoot.
Alright.
So
No,
it
it's
should
false
just
or
be
false.
Does it read left or right? Because there is one.
Sort of.
So it'd be X or Y, which is true, and then true and false, which equals.
So does this print out anything?
No, we had
Nah,
we had
because.
parentheses on the
So where should we put them?
around the second line.
Good.
Right near
You mean like that?
no. Take the first parentheses near behind in front of the first X.
So here?
That's what we have last.
Oh, as in like this is what we checked it with, right?
Yeah, and then add another set of parentheses before the first X. Before the first X. After the second line.
And that'll result true?
False.
False? False.
So in this case, does it just read left to right? So it's like X or Y, which is equal true, and then true and false, which is the Y. So that reads false, and then false or false, and that just reads.
False. So the end of this becomes false. With the parentheses, it's a lot easier than without, right? Yeah.
If it's false and false, does that make it true?
False and false makes false. So let's make this a little easier to try and remember how we do it. X is true, right? Now if I were to do Y or Y and X, what does it print out?
False.
False? Okay. Well, you know, I'll put 2. False. Good. Now if I change this, Y and Y or X, what does that print out to me? To moderator? Okay. Let's check that. Yes, it does. Because Y is false and priority, Y or X, true. Yes. Same thing as doing that. Yeah, tricky stuff, huh? There. Yeah. So tricky stuff. Very tricky. Yes and no. Because priority should be here, right? Because it's false or true, which makes good. Yeah. I'm going to ignore that you said.
You know we're on screen.
Travis. Just like that? Yeah. So the greater takeaway from this I want you to have is what you're doing right now. Maybe you're getting a little lost with some of the things going on. In fact, if I check the chat, I can almost guarantee it's going to say...
What's it gonna say? What's it gonna say?
So it was probably going to say that someone got lost. And that's understandable. Going rapid fire through this is actually really tough. So what kind of things should you do?
Work it out.
Work it out. Work it out. Very good. You got to write it all in. Okay?
Okay.
You don't get a medal for not writing anything down on your test. So please do write things down on the test. Oh, geez. I deleted all the messages at once? Yeah. No. We're going to go ahead and move on. So we got our Boolean stuff. Let's see. The other thing that they really suggested we should do is this one. Divide by 10. For recursion, check my tracing videos, y'all. You have this document, so, you know, check what I got. Check it out. Parameter passing. Okay. In what way? Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's do that. All right. Rose, what was your idea? Yeah.
Oh, how would you create a pattern?
Oh yeah. So we asked that one first, so we'll do that one first. And then we'll do parameter passing. I can spell.
Yeah. Spelling champion. Nationals.
Should like spelling
I had to learn to spell my name. That's tough. Strelakis.
Do you have a middle name?
Yeah.
What is it?
Nathaniel.
Oh.
That's my middle name.
Really? Oh yeah, it is.
Is it like she found a friend?
Oh boy.
When was the last time you had a friend?
So let's go through how to print out columns then rows. Now, taking a look at this, I showed it in this conception to my students last period to just reinforce the idea that, yeah, this really is an array of arrays. A 2D array is just 3 arrays together. Each row is an array. So, to then print it out, as we said before, we did need to, I'm just going to copy and paste it. Copy the pasta, yes. I'm learning your new phraseology all the time. What?
I don't know. Someone told me that.
I don't know. So, let's say I got this, right? Now, when you say print by columns first, what do you mean?
Like, so is it like 0 by row?
Like this one.
It'd be.
Oh, like print this one, print that one, print that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, I would go ahead and swap these lines around. So by doing that then, system.out.print, just print, I'd go ahead and print out a to d array. Oh, by the way, I did this last period also. Is this a valid variable name? Is 2D array a valid variable name? Because it starts with a 2, that ain't okay. That would actually break.
That ain't okay.
That's why I have a 2D array. That is fine. Because that'll be okay.
That ain't okay. That ain't okay.
Or I can write out the word 2. Yeah, that's true. But guys, just keep that in mind. No symbols or anything like that there. Wait, hang on. Let me rethink this a moment. Okay.
No, you just have to switch the words.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's how we're gonna practice it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Right, calls. So let's see how that works. That's how you guys think. You see, my idea was last period, I asked all of them to do it, so that way I didn't constantly mess up. This is stressful to be out here. Okay, so far, it seems to kind of work. 2, 2, 2 is accurate. But what's wrong with this thing right here? Exactly. If it's not a square array, it's going to break. So there are a few ways to do this. The simplest one is if calls is greater than a to d dot length.
Right.
Actually, I could probably just do it like this. If it's less than, I'll do that. Else, I'm going to go ahead and break out of that loop.
Oh.
So with that, then I get them all.
Okay.
Almost all of them. 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 65, 65, 65. And from there, it kind of stops. So I might need to do some more changes to it. But you guys see how I'm going to go about it?
So you'd have to send it.
I'd have to add some more conditions, and then I'd have to change some of these conditions up here, just to make sure I can get all of them and not exit it. So it's a little tougher, but maybe not too bad.
No.
Alright, so the next thing we wanted to get was parameter passing. So let's say I do method A. And what am I doing? Am I like giving an integer up here, and I'm passing it there, and I'm going to see if it changes? Okay. Is there a specific kind of variable that I should make x to test it? Okay. Cool. Public. Should I return anything or not return anything? Okay. x plus equals 17. So, is the question, what is x equal to afterwards? Is it still 5 or not? That's your question? Okay, good. I like that question. Move that down there. So just see the output for this. Public static void. Okay. So, does everyone understand what we're checking here? Does anyone not understand what we're checking here? Shake your head. Like, why did we write this? Why did we do that? Is anyone not clear about that? Shake your head. No one else is here. Okay. So, the thing involved here, notice how I'm passing this the variable x, right? Right, everyone? Okay. So with passing it, originally it's 5, but I'm passing it to another method which changes it. So the question is, will it actually change it? Will this be 5 or will it be 22? Now the answer, as many of you have pointed out, is no. It will not change it. Now, why does it not change x, even though it is actually changing this variable x? Okay, interesting idea. So one idea is that it's printing it before actually calling method A. Any other ideas as to why? So it doesn't actually change x, because if I did x equals method A at x and returned it, then yeah, it would, you're saying? Okay, yeah, that's correct. Otherwise, the reason for why it doesn't actually change it is this x and this x are not the same. They are not the same. This is what we call by value passing. By value passing means it's not passing it x. It's passing it the value that x is equal to. And what's x equal to? 5. So it's passing it 5 and then adding to that local variable x that only exists here, not here. These are in different places in the system. So if we're looking at it in RAM, we have one box that holds this x up here on line 69, and then we have another box that holds this value down here, 74. Both of them start off at 5. This second box gets changed to 22, and then once this method concludes, this x down here on line 75 stops existing. So it no longer exists. The local variable exits existence.
So arrays are past the message you want this Is that apply to all objects or just
So, do our arrays, now that's the question I was really expecting. Are arrays passed by reference or by value? So do you guys understand what she means by reference or by value? Do you guys all get that? Okay, so you know how I said before it was by value, so it just passed 5, right, instead of the actual location of x? It just passed the value. When you pass by reference, that's where it's going to actually give it the location of that variable so that the variable itself is what gets passed, and any changes made to it actually do get changed. Now the question is, now the question is, will it actually change in 3? Now the difference between in 3 and x is what? Is what? It's an array. Yeah, that's correct. So it ends up being different in that it's an array. Now, with that, you'll notice that it actually does change the array. This is called by reference passing. So when you pass in 3 to the method A, it actually will change it. When you pass x, it does not. Am I making sense? So primitive data types do not get altered when passed. Any objects like an integer array or a string or a number holder or a 2 number holder actually do get changed. Got it?
Okay.
Trigger.
Can a variable ever equal, like,
Can ever equal a reference,
gotta think about
an
it.
address? In C++. Yeah.
Okay, so we had like number holder x.
Yeah.
Can x itself ever equal null?
Yes. Like up here, all I would have to have done was number holder equals null. Do you know what happened if I tried to do dot print x? Will it be an exception or not?
I don't think so.
No, it would just print null. Yeah, you can print null. What would be the problem? What would I do to actually break it and make it not print? Actually crash the program. If I try to access something, null dot any method breaks, but just null on its own is fine.
So if I had a method that returned a string, let's say I had a string parameter variable, like x, even if x dot get, if x is null, then the string part of that
Must also be
x
broken.
must be null.
Yeah, because there's nothing made for its holder.
But x could have a value for every other variable except for that string.
It couldn't. Not if it were null.
No,
If x is null, everything
no,
inside of
x is not null, but it has
Oh,
a value
okay.
for everything but the string. But and
Oh.
the string can't even be null.
it. Yeah, that string can be null. That's fine. So is this all making sense? I'll check the group chat, see if we have any questions.
We want to check the root, but
It just rose from 2 dislikes to 5.
I think one of them is to be a moderator.
All right.
hey, oh my god.
All right, guys. We only have like 4 or 5 minutes left. Give me your final questions. Overloading. Yes, that was done in the other class. So just check the stream.
Cool.
What else? Ask me questions, guys. Don't report, students.
I fully wonder that. That's what looking for.
Fine. Okay. So, no questions? Okay, then I'm going to start speaking about tomorrow, and if you have a question, just go ahead and put your hand up. I don't know. I think that was it. I finished my 2 CSA classes. Okay. I might stream 3rd period if you guys want. What should I do 3rd period?
You should set up a chat.
Set up a chat and just keep going through the document?
Okay.
Oh, what is like the number of passes?
Number of passes for binary or sequential or... Okay, so real quick, you know what? I don't think we'll have time to go through all of them. So
So it's like
just go ahead and look them up. For binary search, for instance, passes, it's log of that number, log base 2 of that number.
Okay.
So for instance, binary search passes on an array of 1,000 elements is going to be 10.
The maximum is.
The maximum is 10.
There's a question that said 2,000. So
11.
20.
Think so. Log base 2 of that number.
Okay.
If you're working in your calculator, you might do log of 1,000 divided by log of 2 because that's the change of base formula.
Right.
No. Now, merge sort has a similar one in that it's also logarithmic. Let's see. Insertion and selection search take a maximum of n squared, where n is the number of elements.
Okay.
And selection is also n squared. And linear search, do you guys know how long linear search will take at maximum?
The length of
The length of the array, yeah. Because if it's not present, it'll just go through literally the entire thing. Merge sort is also logarithmic. Because merge sort, big O. No, big O is actually the name of the way that we. There's no calculator. None. Merge sort is also logarithmic, as in log base 2 of it, because just like binary search, it splits it into 2. You guys got it?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's
If we're bringing it back to school stuff.
You don't need to. You're absent all day. You're excused all day.
Can we come here and chill, please?
That's debatable.
Please.
We'll talk. Whatever.
Wait, so if we ask our teachers, can
I'll
we
sign
chill
it.
here?
What?
If we ask our teachers, can we chill here?
Yes.
Okay. Can you write us a pass?
No, she's not.
Write a pass and I'll sign. Write a pass and I'll sign it.
Okay, I'll
So guys, last couple of minutes. Here are some things you need to do. Check this stream.
Okay.
Search anything you're unfamiliar with.
Is this content?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Search anything that you're unfamiliar with. Just some of the finer points. If it's maybe the bigger points that you need, check my tracing videos. Check Coding Bat. And do things that just simply will practice reading code. Albert, all that. You should already have done all your Alberts. You should have already done the Barron's book assignment. You should already have done some Coding Bat if I told you to do Coding Bat. So you should be ready. Should be 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready for go, 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 you know? All that.
Hey.
I don't know.
Come here tomorrow after APCS.
I think so. I don't know what I'm signing.
Count for third period.
There you go.
For sixth period.
Okay. So guys, last stuff. Do you know when your exam
I just
is?
skipped
Morning
line.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, 7. Means you walk on campus, you walk to competition gym, period.
Right.
If you're here really early, I'm here at 5:30. I have bags of pretzels for you.
Oh!
Make sure.
Do you have candy corn left?
No.
Bye.
Yeah, Mr. Select.
Bye, guys. So, remember to bring photo ID and pencil to tomorrow's exam.
Do you remember how I did it?
P5FOFUM, who's still on the stream? Let's see. You're going? All right. Hey, study. All right. Make sure everyone study. Everyone study and get good sleep. Good luck. Have fun. GLHF, all that. I'm going to stop streaming now. Bye. Thanks for watching.